Ebere was no stranger to hardship. Each day, she hustled with resilience, trying to make ends meet through her small business. But on this particular day, trouble came knocking. Two rugged men approached her, claiming their boss wanted to see her. Calm but focused on her work, Ebere politely declined. She told them she couldn't leave her business unattended. Insulted by her response, their boss fumed with anger. He accused her of disrespect and demanded payment for money she allegedly owed him. And when she said she had nothing to give, he crossed the line, suggesting that if she couldn't pay, she could sleep with him instead. But Ebere stood her ground. Boldly, she refused both offers. That defiance cost her everything. Furious, the man ordered his boys to destroy her business. Her wares were shattered, her stall left in ruins. Ebere collapsed to the ground, tears streaming down her face, her livelihood torn from her hands. She had no idea where she would find the capital to start over. Elsewhere, Jade came home from work to find his girlfriend, Rose, waiting for him. But something was off. Jade told her plainly he needed time alone. Rose pleaded, hoping they could use that time to reconnect. Still, Jade insisted. She had to go. Back in a quiet, unfinished building, Ebere lay curled up on a mat, her temporary shelter. The landlord barged in, demanding rent. Ebere pleaded for more time, promising to pay soon. At first, the landlord agreed until he gave her a degrading alternative: he could clear her rent, if she slept with him. Disgusted, Ebere refused. No matter how desperate she was, she wouldn't sell her dignity. The landlord's response was swift and heartless. Since she'd turned down his offer, she now had just 24 hours to find the money or leave. Pushed to the edge, Ebere hit the streets again. She walked into a store, asking for any job. By the end of the day, she had one, hawking water bottles. It wasn't much, but it was honest work. Meanwhile, Chief Cosmas had just returned from the United States. He met with Jade and thanked him for managing his affairs while he was away. Then, with a heavy heart, he shared that his wife had been diagnosed with cancer. There was something serious he needed to discuss, but fatigue from the long journey meant that conversation would have to wait until tomorrow. Back in her shelter, Ebere was trying to rest when two men entered. Unaware of her presence, they talked openly about a plan to rob an ATM. Frightened, Ebere tried to stay silent but accidentally dropped a spoon. The noise caught their attention. The men rushed to find the intruder. Terrified, Ebere bolted out of the building, running for her life only to be struck by a moving car on the road. Out stepped Jade. Recognizing her distress, he offered to take her to the hospital. But Ebere, bruised but proud, refused his help. She asked only for money so she could go on her own. She wasn't just running from danger. She was running to survive. Instead of going to the hospital, she walked through town searching for a place to start over. She found a modest house and paid the rent up front. For the first time in weeks, she had a roof over her head. And with the little money she had left, Ebere took a bold step. She started a small business. A new chapter had begun. The next day, Chief Cosmas handed Jade a picture of his daughter. His voice was heavy as he explained that she was kidnapped at the age of 10, and for the past 15 years, they had searched without success. Now, with his wife's health deteriorating, he hoped finding their daughter might ease her final days. Jade accepted the task without hesitation. Later that evening, Jade returned home, only to hear a toilet flush. Rose walked out of the bathroom. He was furious. He had told her to leave. Rose claimed she missed him and that his friend had said Jade had forgiven her. But Jade reminded her he still needed space to figure out if he could ever forgive her at all. Ebere, using the little money she had, reopened her business. But sharp pain hit her stomach as she walked. She clutched herself, struggling to stay on her feet. Jade moved from orphanage to orphanage, showing the picture. None of them had seen the girl. While Ebere was selling, a customer suddenly ran away. She turned to see the same gang member who had destroyed her life days ago. He demanded the rest of the money she owed. Ebere handed him all the money she had. He told her it was rent for running her business, and that when her rent was due again, he'd be back. Jade came home and found Rose still there. She said she was trying to rekindle their relationship. But Jade said the fire was dead. Every time he looked at her, he remembered how he caught her cheating. He had tried to forgive her but couldn't. Ebere's stomach pain got worse. She walked past Jade, who recognized her. He asked if she had gone to the hospital. She said she was fine and collapsed. Jade rushed her to the hospital. The doctor said she had rib injuries and was in serious pain. She hadn't been taking any medication and needed rest. A few hours later, Ebere woke up. She insisted on leaving. The doctor warned her, but she said she had to hustle. Jade tried to stop her, but she refused. He gave her money. On her way home, she collapsed again. Jade followed and helped her once more. Ebere woke up in Jade's house. Confused, she screamed. Jade rushed in. She asked if he was using her for rituals. He explained that she collapsed again and had been in a coma for 3 days. She asked who changed her clothes. Jade said he did but assured her he didn't see anything. Ebere wasn't convinced. Jade left to check on his food before it burned. Later that evening, Jade brought Ebere some food. But she hesitated, suspicious. She feared it might be poisoned. Jade assured her he couldn't harm her. He reminded her he had saved her life. She asked why he helped her, even though they were strangers. Jade said he felt responsible after all, he was the one who hit her with his car. He introduced himself. Ebere did the same. The next morning, Jade reported to Chief Cosmas, then returned home to check on Ebere. She was still weak, so he helped her walk to the bathroom. As he held her hand, the door suddenly burst open. Rose walked in. She froze. Her eyes locked on their hands. Without asking questions, she launched into a furious rant. Jade shielded Ebere and dragged Rose downstairs, tossing her out of the house. Rose screamed in rage. She said he should stop acting entitled to her body. That it was just small cheating. She could do whatever she wanted. But her final words sent chills. She promised to come back. That night, Jade went to get a pillow to sleep downstairs. Ebere told him he could stay a little longer before going. Jade asked if she had any family they could reach out to. Ebere said no. Her parents had died in a car accident when she was 10. Since then, she'd lived on the streets. Jade noticed scars on her body. Ebere hesitated, then grew emotional. She finally said the streets had been cruel, and she didn't like talking about it. Jade encouraged her. He said her life would change. Ebere thanked him. No one had ever cared for her the way he did. The next morning, Jade woke up to the smell of food. Ebere was in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning. He got angry. She needed to be resting. But Ebere said she just wanted to do something, anything to show her gratitude. Jade told her she needed to get used to being helped. Because from now on, he would always be there for her. Jade had made it his mission to find Chief Cosmas's long-lost daughter. Day after day, he walked through orphanages, talked to street vendors, and questioned people living under bridges. The streets gave him no answers, but he refused to give up. That evening, when he got home tired and dusty, he found Ebere had already prepared a meal. She welcomed him with a smile, but Jade was irritated. He didn't like seeing her overwork herself. Still, after cleaning up and taking a few bites, he couldn't help but praise the food. It was delicious, better than anything he had tasted in a long time. Ebere only smiled, but deep inside, she felt a warmth she hadn't felt in years. She asked Jade why a man like him wasn't married. He shot back with a smirk, asking if she was offering. She laughed it off, saying their lives weren't on the same level. She was from the streets, with too much darkness in her past. But Jade disagreed. He reminded her that being a victim didn't make her dirty, that her past didn't define her future. Later, Jade bought her clothes and planned to take her for a medical checkup. As she sat waiting in the car, something fell from the dashboard, a worn childhood photo. Her heart skipped. It was her. The photo was of her younger self. When Jade joined her in the car, she asked where he got the picture. He froze. Everything fell into place. The girl he had been searching for, the chief's daughter, was Ebere. He tried to explain, but Ebere broke. She insisted her parents were dead. She spoke of years of pain, abuse, rape, hunger, fear. To her, her parents had died the moment they stopped looking. Jade didn't argue. Quietly, he collected her toothbrush and ran a DNA test to confirm the truth. While he waited for results, Ebere went back to her hustle. She smiled at customers, but inside, she wrestled with a storm. She couldn't stop thinking about Jade, how he took care of her, argued with her playfully about football, brought her breakfast, made her laugh. But the pain of knowing her real parents had lived in comfort while she suffered on the streets tore her apart. The results came back. A 98.9% match. Ebere was Chief Cosmos's daughter. Jade went searching again. When he finally found her, he begged her to hear him out. Her mother was dying. She didn't have to accept them, but her mother's final wish was to see her child. Ebere agreed to go. The reunion was anything but warm. Chief Cosmos wept when he saw her. He explained that she had been kidnapped at 10, and they had never stopped searching. But Ebere was filled with rage. She accused him of giving up too easily. She said she didn't come to Bond only to look the man who abandoned her in the eye. But as the weight of years pressed down, and Jade stood beside her like a pillar, something cracked inside Ebere. Chief Cosmos sobbed as he begged for forgiveness. After a heavy silence, Ebere forgave him. As Jade prepared to leave, he told her to be at peace in her new home and to embrace the life ahead. Ebere thanked him quietly, then asked if she would ever see him again. Jade promised he would always check on her. At first, life in the mansion felt strange. She dipped bread in tea like she used to, but Chief laughed and gently showed her a more civilized way. When she asked for rice, the maid brought it, but she didn't know how to use the cutlery. Again, Chief stepped in, guiding her patiently. Chief spoiled his daughter endlessly, and every night, Jade and Ebere talked, laughed, and shared stories. The day of her travel to the US was approaching. On that day, Chief thanked Jade deeply for bringing his daughter home. And Jade, with sincerity, wished Ebere a safe journey. He told her again he loved her. This time, Ebere smiled and asked him to wait for her. Back home, Jade found Rose waiting. She begged for another chance. But Jade told her plainly his heart had moved on. She should too. Months passed. Ebere and Jade stayed in touch, checking on each other from across continents. And when she finally returned, Jade didn't wait. He proposed.